Welcome to the Ben Daniel Podcast, where we're calling a spade a spade. Some of you guys might be asking, wow, first of all, this is a great picture. Second of all, what's with the black and white? Why are we going with a black and white picture? Well, folks, when we're talking Caitlin Clark, when we're talking about her impact on the WNBA, her impact on the TV numbers, her impact on the attendance numbers, it is black and white. It is as easy as saying, what are the numbers telling me? So when Cheryl Miller came out and said $2 billion was a low ball, we all actually sat and thought to ourselves, well, is it really a low ball? Is it really a low ball considering the only person that people come out and see at record numbers is only one player? The only person that people sit down on their couch and change the channel to in record numbers is only one player. So how much of a low ball is it really? Seems like Cheryl Miller, her perspective on the situation didn't go over too well. And fortunately for all of us, Rob Parker, Chris Broussard, neither of them were having it. Chris Broussard, the clip you're going to hear from Chris Broussard was before the All-Star Game numbers. The clip you're going to hear from Rob Parker was after seeing the All-Star numbers. And what you will notice, the thought process is the same. This league might as well have been inactive before Caitlin Clark came in. Before Caitlin Clark brought in a new wave of fans, which we will talk about. Please come back 8 o'clock p.m. Huge news on the new wave of fans and what kind of fans Caitlin Clark has brought in. The WNBA Gatekeepers, Monica McNutt, Cheryl Swoops. You guys are going to be mad about the type of fans that are coming to watch out these games. But you guys will tune back in for that later. People are fed up with being lied to about the crazy interest within the WNBA. Yeah, the All-Star Game did 3.4 million viewers, huge numbers. But just because one All-Star Game did monstrous numbers doesn't mean that justifies the $2.1 billion deal. Folks, this is a quick little blurb here. Probably about a month ago, Sports Media Watch came out with an article. Clark's games that are televised are averaging 1.09 million viewers. And then when you take away NBA TV, that number rises to 1.43. And then non-Clark games are averaging 422,000 million viewers. And then when you take out NBA TV, you get to 591,000. 591,000. Without Caitlin Clark, the best number the WNBA can pull out of their behind as far as an average viewership number goes is 591,000. And Cheryl Miller thinks that $2 billion is a low ball. Rob Parker wasn't having it. Rob Parker went in on Cheryl Miller's thoughts regarding this subject. Let's take a listen here. First, we're going to hear Cheryl Miller speaking on the subject, and then you're going to hear Rob Parker demolish it.
Reporting about a $2.2 billion media rights deal out there.
There's rumor of it?
Reporting about the next media rights deal.
Then if I'm not great with numbers, low ball.
Why do you say that?
That's a low ball. You're saying how much?
$2.2 billion over 11
Not
years.
enough. Not even close. Now, I'm not trying to inflate it a whole lot, but a 2's nice, an 8 would be better. That's what I'm talking about, because they know. They know. And we certainly have come a long way. And I'm not about gouging, but it's a long time overdue. And we're going to continue to get better and better. All you have to do is look at, college basketball and what's coming next, the next wave of excitement. And you have this now, and pretty soon we're going to add another gold medal. So women's basketball is in a great place right now.
Cheryl Miller, is this on? Stop it! Cheryl Miller, I get it. You know, you had the microphone, somebody asked you a question, so you decided. But what Cheryl Miller doesn't understand, that before this year and Caitlin Clark, the W in WNBA stood for welfare. Okay? That's what it stood for, Ephraim. And for years, for 29 years, they've been taking the 160-ounce box of Frosted Flakes with no sugar on it and the government cheese from the NBA as this league lost money. Hand over fist. It lost money. And now all of a sudden, a 300% increase ain't good enough. Cheryl Miller, stop it. I got news for you. Caitlin Clark is the Harlem Globetrotters. When she goes and plays, they show up and the numbers are there. They still getting 5,000 and 6,000 at these other games where Caitlin Clark is nowhere to be seen. They still aren't watching those games. So before you get big and bad and tell us how great it is, even this year with Caitlin Clark, these aren't Robopedia numbers. These are from the Washington Post. The WNBA, the Welfare NBA, as I'll call it, is scheduled to lose $50 million this year. So, Cheryl, you want $8 billion. Pay back all the money the last 29 years that the NBA put in. If this was a real business, Ephraim, this league would have been out of business 25 years ago, okay? If it was a real business.
Well,
oh, my God. Rob Parker completely... I thought I called a spade over here. Folks, that might be nearly as close as you can be to calling a spade on national airwaves, on Fox Sports Radio, calling the WNBA the Welfare League before Caitlin Clark arrived. Saying that they're pissing out money hand over fist. They're getting handouts from the NBA. You want an $8 billion number? Pay back all the money that you've taken from the NBA over the years. Jeez Louise. Rob Parker, you were not lying at all. We already went over these numbers. Games with Caitlin Clark taken apart, games without Caitlin Clark taken apart. But let's look at some other numbers. WNBA viewership records by network this season. Notice something. A lot of Caitlin Clark games. A lot of Indiana Fever games. Very surprising. Let's see something else. Number of TV viewers of the WNBA Finals from 1997 to 2023. Started at a high number and then every year since been on a downward spike until a small bump. When the Caitlin Clark effect took hold of the NCAA tournament, March Madness 2023, and you saw that number go from 559, 534, and a 200,000 viewership increase based on the Caitlin Clark effect alone. It is no secret that the numbers are all Caitlin Clark's doing. It is no secret that the $2.2 billion should be given to Caitlin Clark. Chris Broussard. Oh my good. Between Chris Broussard, Rob Parker, and Colin Cowherd, they've been on an absolute heater towards the WNBA. They're not letting them sweep any of this under the rug. Same thing with Doug Gottlieb. These four have been on an absolute heater, attacking every and anybody who is trying to lie about the impact that we are currently seeing Caitlin Clark have on the WNBA. This was Chris Broussard simply not having it as well. Let's take a listen here, shall we?
Hasn't Caitlin Clark done enough? I mean, my goodness. The girl is carrying a whole league on her back. And if anybody wants to dispute that, look at the numbers. games double the rest of the league's games as far as viewers attendance. She has the highest rated games on every network the league has ever been on. She is single-handedly, and people don't like it. It's not to say she's the first great player. She certainly is not. She's not even the best player in the league right now. Shout out to Aja Wilson. But she is single-handedly putting this league on the mainstream map. She is. Angel Reese is playing great, and she's got a little storyline too, but don't get it twisted. I just said it. The ratings, the viewership, the attendance all shows Caitlin Clark is carrying the league. And she has gone from her NCAA season, NCAA tournament, straight into the WNBA. Now she's going to, get her first break in darn near a year, it feels like. And on top of all of the basketball and just carrying the league from a basketball standpoint, she is just for, no doing of her own, had her name thrown into racial conversations, had her name thrown into conversations about sexuality. She has been talked about ad nauseum. Women, athletes, non-athletes, casual fans, diehards. She has had certainly more pressure and more of a burden on her these last few months than any player in the WNBA for sure. And it's arguable any basketball player in America. I say arguable because obviously the NBA is such a bigger game and it's so much more popular, and we're talking about them every single day. So that's why I would say you might not want to go that far, but it's arguable because she's one player. And she's got, carried this whole league. I'm with you. It'd be nice if she was in it.
Listen to that, folks. Rob Parker, Chris Broussard. Folks, if you would pay attention, if you were on WNBA Twitter, if you take a look at some of the discourse being had, if you listen to some of the analysts on ESPN, not named Rebecca Lobo, if you were to read some of the articles on ESPN, if you were to look at Yahoo, CBS Sports, USA Today Sports, if you were to look, you would think that this interest in the WNBA was a equal party collective effort to get this where it's currently at. It's not. It's not. And I'm glad that there are people out there in the mainstream media willing to say, stop right there. Stop right there. This right here is hogwash. Stop trying to pass this. You can put makeup on a pig, but guess what? It's still a pig. At the end of the day, it is still a pig. Cheryl Miller even said, I don't want a 2, I want an 8 instead. Beggars can't be choosers, right? Beggars can't be, whatever is not good enough, which leads us to what's coming at 8 o'clock p.m. The WNBA wanted new fans. The WNBA wanted new fans. But what if I told you that those new fans are the exact fans that the WNBA gatekeepers were trying to prevent from coming in? See you at 8 o'clock. This is Ben Daniel Podcast. Appreciate everybody for coming by. Please subscribe to the channel. I so thoroughly appreciate the support, the comments. See you later, guys.